In a move that rocked the shape of Kenyan politics forever, Mwai Kibaki, for so long the loyal vice president, broke off from Moi and KANU and decided to go it alone. The Democratic Party was created, and in one fell swoop, Mwai Kibaki had transformed himself into a leader for change in the country.
Sisi tutajua kama tutashinda. Tufuate umoja, tutafute haki. Kenya mpya imeshajengeka. Imeshajengeka. Kenya ile mpya.
Under the banner of the Democratic Party, Kibaki began articulating his plans for a better Kenya.
The Democratic Party believes that Kenya must regain its lost good name and past glory. It has also the potential to elevate its status even higher in the community of nations.
In 1992, the first election since the return to multi-party politics took place. It was a highly contested election in which the opposition raised many questions on the fairness of the outcome.
This is a joint statement on the general elections on the 29th of December 1992. We recognize and identify with the desire of the majority of Kenyans for genuine democratic change. The key element in the fulfillment of this desire, and indeed in the democratization process, is the holding of free and fair elections.
Kibaki would come a commendable third behind the incumbent Daniel Arap Moi and the ever-popular Kenneth Matiba. But he wasn't deterred. Instead, the results seemed to make him more determined to fight for justice and equality for all of Kenya's citizens. In the late 1990s, Mwai Kibaki joined hands with other politicians and civil society groups in the Ufungamano initiative to bring about minimum constitutional reforms.
It is for us here to be agreed who else we want to encourage to attend this symposium at that time.
In 1997, Kibaki was back in contention. He campaigned tirelessly for victims of the land clashes. In the end, he lost narrowly to President Moi, and the Democratic Party became the official opposition party, and Mwai Kibaki its head, the official opposition leader. It was clear that opposition politics in Kenya was maturing and new strategies being developed. Kibaki continued to focus his eyes on the ultimate prize, the presidency. He tried a new strategy, forging alliances with other parties and uniting against Moi's KANU. It was then that the National Rainbow Alliance was formed. It was the first time in Kenya's history that the opposition had come together, and Kibaki became the obvious choice to lead the challenge as the 2002 election approached.
Get the hand out of my face because, hey, I am unbogable, I am unbeatable.
A wave of euphoria and desire for real change had gripped the country. But during the campaign, tragedy struck. Kibaki was involved in a serious car accident that almost ended his campaign and almost cost him his life. But Kibaki bounced back and overwhelmingly beat the opposition candidates. He garnered more than 67% of the popular vote. The long, hard struggle had come to an end, and Kenyans ushered in a brave new era.
These provisional figures do give indication that Honorable Mwai Kibaki is ahead of the next presidential candidate, that is Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta by a very wide margin. It is not likely that the margin can be eliminated. He has therefore professionally satisfied the criterion upon which a presidential candidate must be declared elected. The Electoral Commission therefore declares Honorable Mwai Kibaki the President of Kenya.
Despite the accident, the man from Othaya had fulfilled his and the country's destiny. On December 30th, 2002, Kibaki, in a wheelchair, took the oath of office and stepped into Kenya's history books as the country's third president since independence.
Mimi, Mwai Kibaki, naapa kwamba nitatenda kazi zangu za urais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kwa uaminifu na kutimiza wajibu wa kazi hizo. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu unisaidie.
The new era had begun with a man determined to chart a brave new future for the country.
Now, all of us, both young and old, men and women, Kenyans of every group, every race, every creed, have embarked on a journey to a promising future with unshakable determination and faith in God.
That was then in a very different Kenya from the one we live in today. 5 years later, the country is becoming prosperous and moving in the right direction. When President Kibaki was elected, he took over a country in a desperate state that failed to live up to its mighty potential. Years of misrule had left the economy in tatters. Millions remained unemployed, and the country's infrastructure and social balance had been severely eroded. The country needed an overhaul, and Kibaki used his experience and knowledge to rapidly turn things around. In a few months, the change was clear for all to see. Loss-making state corporations were turned into efficient service providers. Farmers began receiving fair prices for their produce as marketing and processing organizations such as the Kenya Meat Commission and the Kenya Cooperative Creameries were restructured. The Nairobi Stock Exchange has produced record returns as more companies become listed and more Kenyans can own a share and stake in the economy. In 5 years, Kenya has bounced back. Jobs have been created. Foreign investors are streaming in. Tourism is booming. Simply put, the country is working. Kibaki's love of education and vision for seeing a generation learn made him make some sweeping reforms in the field of education. Free tuition for all primary schools, something he now wants to extend into the secondary level.
To ensure that as many teenagers as possible attend secondary school, my government will provide free secondary education from January 1st, the year 2008, next year.
He wants to build infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways, and byways. He wants to help farmers grow more, sell more, do more. He wants to encourage Kenyans to invest in their own country. He's made banking safer and simpler. There was a time Kenya was regarded as a pariah nation. Few were proud to be considered Kenyan. Kibaki has changed all that. His leadership skills, both nationally and internationally, have been evident.
Implementation modality offers not only hope.
In the region, he has ensured that Kenya leads from the front. In 2004, he helped broker the peace deal between the Sudanese government and the Sudan People's Liberation Army, or SPLA, thereby ending Africa's longest-running civil war. Around the world, he has been welcomed as a statesman and presented Kenya as an important player on the world stage. He is spreading the message that Kenya is open for business with an environment that is poised to take off. Kenya is on the up and up, and only one man can help take the country to the next level. He is the man with the plan, a plan for Kenya and for Kenyans, a man of humble beginnings who set out to change the course of history in Kenya and has succeeded in making Kenyans proud to wear the flag, proud to call themselves Kenyans, proud to call this man their president for another 5 years. He is the man of the hour, and his greatest hour is yet to come. He is a husband, a father, a grandfather, a teacher, a president, a statesman. He is Mwai Kibaki. In a word, he was born to lead.
PNU chama chetu. Nataka wamama wajibike.